Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Cole Hoover here. I just wanted to preface that we did set up this call because we wanted you all to be able to answer any more lingering questions that you have, and also just open anything up for discussion. This is not going to be a call with a long presentation. I'm going to flash the screen again with the packing list, which all of you should have, but if you don't, this would be a chance to look at it again, or you're free to email me and I can bring it over to you. But for now, I just wanted to open up the floor to any questions we have. And so please either raise your hand if you'd like to speak, or if you just have a question you'd like to write, please write it. And if you do not want me to read it to the group, please just write "do not read" before. So does anyone have any questions to open up? Okay, so all right, we've got one. So Lori, what was your question? Okay, Jesus typing. Hold on one second. Okay, so we got some questions, and I'll just start going through. Okay, so the first question we had was regarding packing. Should we bring sheets? No, you won't need to bring sheets. And also, sometimes on trips like this, sleeping bag can be recommended if you get, much colder. But in Ghana, that's not going to be too much of an issue, so I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, and so the next question was, how will the interns find the Global Brigade staff members at the airport? Because, like I said before, you will not have to go outside of the airport. You will be picked up by the Global Brigade's team immediately when you arrive. And then after the internship is over and you're taken back to depart on August 3rd, you will be taken by the Global Brigade staff as well. You'll never have to navigate on your own. And so when you arrive, the way that you will be found is once you get out of the airplane, just exit the terminal, and there are Global Brigade staff members who have a list of your names. They know your exact flight numbers. They've been checking to see if there's been any delays, and they will be waiting there to find you. And so you need to look for them too, because obviously you don't have any way of identification, and they do. They will have Global Brigade's polo shirts on, most likely, which is just a regular polo shirt with the Global Brigade's logo. Or they could have a Global Brigades t-shirt on, and they will also have signs that they're holding that will say Global Brigade Summer Internship or just Global Brigades. Go over to them, and they're going to wait until everyone that they have on record gets off the plane and comes into their care, and then they will be taking you back to the compound. Okay, next question. Well, we have access to outlets daily. Is a universal adapter okay? Yeah, you will have access to outlets daily. Unfortunately, Ghana doesn't exactly give you access to power every single day. The power can be quite erratic, whether it could be freak weather or the country actually does power rationing as a way to save money and ensure that there's power for really important infrastructure like hospitals. So most days you will be able to charge. But I cannot guarantee that it's always going to be the time that you want to. Sometimes the power could go out all morning and be on all night, or vice versa. And also with a universal adapter should work, because it is a universal adapter. The specific adapter that you need for Ghana is the one that's used in the UK. It's a 3-prong adapter. You can find it, anywhere like Eastern Mountain Sports, or if you're on the West Coast, REI, Target, or any major store. And another question again, what will internet access be for communication? And as said before, interns can have access to communicate with their families at any time. The way we do it is by sharing a bunch of USB internet sticks. So although you can use internet at any time, you won't be able to have your own stick. These are things that you need to share with your fellow interns. So there will be designated times, or you can request the stick if you want to send an email. You should always, be able to do this, but again, you'll have to be sharing with others. And also, your parents don't need to worry, because the moment you get into Ghana, they will be receiving an email as your emergency contact, telling them that you arrived safely in country. Another question, should I purchase an international phone plan, or what is the norm of people doing on trips like this? The norm is that people do not bring phones. There have been a couple rare cases where maybe someone needed the phone for interviews or something else, or just they insisted that they wanted to have a phone. It's expensive. It's kind of a pain, and also you're going to be so busy with our packed schedule over there that it doesn't really make too much sense. Most interns just rely on using email. Okay, the next question. Interns have heard that in the Ghana airport, the Ghana officials may try to give you an extra shot, like a vaccination, and to get them not to do this, you have to bribe them. We've never heard of this happening. I've traveled to Ghana now about 7 times. This has never happened to me, nor has it happened to any of our fellow staff members. And the way that you can guarantee that this isn't going to happen is by having your yellow fever card in your passport. That's all you need to have. The only reason that this might happen, and I have a feeling this was a misunderstanding by a former student, was that they did not have their yellow fever card, and therefore the Ghana health officials thought this person has not been vaccinated for yellow fever. And potentially they were able just to pay the fine, and convince the official that they had gotten a vaccination, and then the official gave them a card instead of the shot. But no, the Ghana Health Agency is a pretty highly regulated agency, and they don't really do bribes. Next question was, how much time will global health interns spend in a clinical setting? Should you bring a stethoscope or a blood pressure cuff? I mean, if you have access to these items, please feel free to, and you don't mind packing them. We have some in country as well, but if you'd like to bring your own, you definitely can. As far as the clinical setting, you will be getting a chance to be spending, several days out in specific clinical settings. You'll also be getting a chance to spend some time in an actual public health setting, whether that's working with teams who are constructing public health projects which have to do with global health, or whether that is to do with visiting actual Ghanaian medical schools or Ghanaian clinics. We try to do a balance between actual on the ground clinical work like you do in a medical brigade. You'll probably be doing about the same amount or more than a medical brigade, but also with more on the ground educational opportunities, like going into a Ghanaian medical school. Okay, next question. Is there a way to find out if other brigaders will be on the same flight? Yes. So, a couple days before the flights, which are coming up, we will be sending out emails to interns who will be on the same flight. And although all of you aren't on the same flights, there are some of you who share a flight. And now that we've finally got everyone's flights booked or rebooked because they maybe booked a wrong date, we're ready to actually send out that information to you all. Okay, next question. Will we need a small backpack for daily use? What should we have on our person at all times? Is it safe to have an iPhone with us all day? Yeah, I'd definitely recommend bringing a small backpack for the time that you're going to be out doing clinicals or out visiting microfinance banks and water projects for the sustainable development interns. The things that I would have on your person at all times, I would say, something like, small toiletries, maybe Kleenex, if you have allergies or you're getting dust. A lot of people like bringing wet wipes or any of those, hand sanitizer wipes, because it can get quite dirty in Ghana, especially out in the rural communities. If you have some kind of allergies, bringing along the proper medication or an EpiPen. And then finally, water. I mean, we're going to be giving you access to clean water always at our compound, and our drivers will actually be bringing a large jug of water that you can use to refill. So the biggest thing that you should be bringing is some kind of water bottle, or if you prefer, like a Camelback or whatever you're used to. And then, is it safe to have an iPhone with us all day? Yeah, I mean, we're going to be in super rural communities that have a low population density and a very strong relationship with global brigades. So we've never had any experience with someone actually being pickpocketed. I would say just, use good judgment. If you'd like to bring it with you, keep it in your backpack or keep it in a pocket that's close to you. I mean, if you're going to be leaving stuff around, there's a chance that it might walk away. But I would say for the most part, it is safe. I think our interpreters and our drivers might recommend that you don't bring valuable goods on market days, because these are days where you're going to be walking around in super dense populations with people that we don't know. So there's always a risk of theft. The next question, do we need to bring a mosquito net to sleep under? No, again, all of our facilities are mosquito equipped. We have mosquito nets on the windows. They're also very high up, and there's no, stagnant water around, which is usually the reason that there's malarial mosquitoes. So you do not need to bring a mosquito net to sleep under. Do not worry. Next question, which I've been getting from a lot of people, and we went over a little bit on the last one. Are scrubs good, full or just pants? Scrubs are totally optional. Scrubs can be very, very comfortable, so it can be a great thing to use. And then the question again is full or just pants? Totally up to you. I would say use your judgment. If you'd like to pack them extra, bring them along and see how you feel. So, yeah. Okay. Is there a suggested packing list that will be sent out to us, or a pre-departure packet like before brigades? So we don't do the pre-departure packet, but you have gotten all this information in the webinars and through different calls. We've sent out an itinerary. We've sent out the packing list several weeks ago, and I've been sending it out to interns again. If you, for some reason, have lost this in your email, I will not only be showing this during this webinar, but you can request it again by me via email. But yeah, this is something that's gone out a couple times. The next answer or question was, can I exchange US money at the airport? Yes, you can. I don't know that you'll be getting the best rates, but there's definitely that opportunity. I would say you can bring the US money and talk to your internship advisors, and they can recommend, should you exchange it here or should you exchange it in the market. Sometimes you can get better rates in the informal market. When I travel there, I just withdraw the money from an ATM, and the fees aren't actually too bad, and that allows you to get out local currency right there without having to worry about doing all the transfers. The next question, if we get sick, are there antibiotics available, and which ones? Should we bring our own if we have allergies? If you get sick, we have not only full-time doctors who are on our staff, but access to local hospitals. So you never have to worry about that. In the Ghanaian healthcare system, you should have access to, if not all, most antibiotics, although they might be different versions than you're used to. So I would definitely recommend, if there's any specific allergy that you have, just being extra safe and bringing along the antibiotics that you're comfortable with. But then again, that doesn't mean that you should be overly worried, because we have some extremely capable medical professionals who will be there to help you out. Also, if you have any other questions on follow-up with specific allergies or specific medications, let's take it offline, and you can email me and we'll try to get you a better answer. Okay, another question. Should I try to purchase scrubs? You can if you want. Okay, a question. If we know someone in Ghana in our free time, are we allowed to meet up with them if we give them all of our contact information to the GB staff? I would say Probably not, and this is something that would have been better to decide on earlier. I mean, there's potentially they would be able to come visit you, but all of our interns are not able. You're not allowed to travel alone. You'll be staying at the compound, working in the communities, or going on, little mini excursions and vacations with the rest of the group. So on this one, let's just follow up offline. Send me the specifics of the situation, and I think there's a great possibility that the person could actually just come and visit the compound or any of the places that we're working. Next question, should we print out the reading materials or can we read it on our laptops? Your choice. We always encourage interns and brigaders to save paper, so I would say that laptop is ideal, but a Kindle also works. Basically anything that's going to allow you to save this information and read it while you're there is all you need. But there will never be any need for it to actually be printed. Okay. Another question, will peanut butter and jelly be available for every meal the same way it was in Honduras? Yeah, there should be options like peanut butter and jelly for people who aren't feeling too good. And so you should be set. Alrighty. Well, it looks like we took care of all of those questions. Right now, I'm just going to share the screen and allow you all to take a look at the packing list for those of you who misplaced this or didn't find the email. But before that, I'm going to answer one more question. The question is, will there always be a vegetarian option available? Absolutely. Also, if you have any specific dietary concerns, I'm going to be asking you to send those over in the next couple of days so we can get that on the list for the cooks. People who are gluten intolerant, people who are dairy intolerant. We need to find a way to make sure that we're going to have a meal always ready for you, which won't be trouble, but we just need to get it in our notes. But there will definitely always be a vegetarian option available to you. Alrighty, so here you are. Here's the packing list. Please feel free to take a look at this for a second. I'll give you a moment to read it over. And then if you have any questions, just start asking them. Alrighty. So does anyone have any specific questions on this packing list? And again, if you go back through your Gmail or whatever mail server you use and you search Cole Hoover and packing list, I'm sure that it'll pop up and you'll get the attachment. But if that for some reason doesn't work, just email me again and I will send it over to you immediately. Alrighty. I'm going to take off the screen share right now and we'll go over any final questions before ending this call and getting you all ready to keep doing your final preparations before getting ready to fly out next week.